Hello, welcome back. Thank you for joining us today. Now, we're going to paint a wonderful scene of a mountain with an evergreen forest below. Now, we're going to flash the colors that you're going to need to paint along with us today on the screen. Let's get right into it. So I'll be mixing some titanium white and phthalo blue together to create a nice faint sky color. Now you want there to be much more titanium white than blue to give it a nice summery feel to the painting. Now we are using acrylic paints, so you might want to get some thinner to help your background. It is classic acrylic thinner. It'll make the paint glide better on your brush and on the canvas. If you just mix it into your paints, it'll behave nicely for you, and it won't break up like it would on the regular canvas. So you want to do little X strokes on the canvas, so not like that. You want to do like little X strokes like this, but really fast and faint. And what I'll do sometimes is I'll get a little darker on the top of the painting to give it more depth, so that when you go down lighter, it'll make it look like the sky is coming at you instead of in front of you. So, this painting today will be short and sweet, so that younger viewers can also follow us. See how that layer is much, much darker than the rest? You just blend that together. Now I'm going to get a bit lighter as we go down. So I'll grab a bit more titanium white to make it a lighter color. I'll grab some more thinner so it glides easier on the canvas and blends with the other color. Now this will make blending a lot easier in your way with painting. So as you can see, it's a bit lighter down. It makes it look like painting's coming at you instead of in front of you. I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to make the top just a little bit darker for, orbit's sake. Oh yeah, I like that. That's nice. It's nice. You want it to be slightly darker than each layer as you go up, but when you go down, you want it to be way lighter. That'll give the illusion of depth and distance into your paintings. So I'll blend it just like so. And then we'll go on to the next layer, which will be much lighter. And this will probably be our maybe second to final layer. We want it to be really white. Whiter than blue. As you can see here, we want it to be very whitish. Less blue, more white. Remember that. I'm going to go grab some more thinner, as it'll help the paint glide on our paintbrush and canvas as we go along. Always remember to not leave your acrylic brushes out of water when you are not using them, so that they don't dry and it's harder to clean. Always remember that, and you will have nice brushes every time you paint. Now that that layer is done, I think I'm going to make it as white as I can possible with still seeing the smallest bit of blue. Now what you're going to do, you're going to take absolute amounts of white. Absolute. Don't want to use all your white though, then you'll have to get annoying old tubes out to put some more on your palette. Get some more thinner. The acrylic thinner is the most amazing thing to come to acrylic paints, because it makes them feel like the niceness of an oil paint, but the consistency of an acrylic paint. You'll just want to blend this together in like so. And next we'll be doing our mountain. Now you don't want to worry much about down here, because that'll be the rest of our painting, like the evergreen forest. And onto the right here, like right here, will be where our mountain is. Now I'm going to place this brush down here for now. And now we're going to take a brush that looks like this. It kind of looks like an oval, but it comes to a point. Some fun little clouds that dance around in the sky. they look like they're having a good time. So what you're going to do is you're going to take it, you're going to dab it just a bit in the sky to create some little cloud-like figures. You can have as many clouds as you would want. It is your world in painting. It is your world. You have absolute power in your skills. Okay. Now, we're going to take our mountain. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab a palette knife. Now, these things are very good for making mountains. So what you're going to do is you're going to dip into some black. You're going to grab a lot of it and have a big roll on the end like so. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up here. You're going to want to really push it into the painting. Really push it. And what that does is that it really gets the paint in there. But what you want to do is at the end of making the base form of your mountain, you're going to want to scrape any excess paint off so that it won't mix with your white as you go down. Now once you are done with that, you're going to take your old brush. Doesn't matter if it has a bit of color on it, it is black, it'll be fine. What you're going to do is you're going to drag it. You're going to just drag it out till it fades at the bottom. Same thing on the other side. Just drag it out till it fades on the bottom. You're just going to blend it in a little bit right here. And what this will do was this will A, take off the excess paint, and B, make it look smoother. So then, we'll take another palette knife, and then we're going to take our white, we're just going to take a glob of white, set it over here on our palette for now, and what we're going to do is we're going to flatten it out like this, and just grab a roll of paint off of it. Now what you're going to want this roll of paint to be very straight, and it's going to look something like that on your roll of paint. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to make the illusion of some snow on the top of the mountain. And don't push too hard. It'll make it look like a big muddy mountain. You don't want it to look like that. So what we'll do is we'll just lightly glide it. You want the breakage in the paint, so then it looks like a mountain. The breakage in the paint is very important when dealing with mountains, because then it looks like little rocks on the side of it. It doesn't matter if you get the tiniest bit of gray into your white, because then that just adds the illusion of darker rocks on the base of your mountain. Yeah, I like it. Looks very nice. Gives the illusion of a nice mountain. And what you'll do after that, to create the illusion of a shadow, we're going to take some of the phthalo blue, just a tiny bit. We're going to mix it in with some white. And we want it to be moderately darker, just moderately darker than our white. It's not too much. We're going to grab some more white over here. And once you get it to that nice separation of blue and white, you'll simply take it like so. Actually, let's get a tiny bit more blue in there. Yeah, I like it. So you want it to look a lot like that, per se. So then you'll have it in your little roll, such as, you'll take it a little bit on each end. You're going to want to do that. Give the illusion of shadows in your mountain. Anyone can paint, truly. anyone. And there you have it, a small little mountain to add to one of your paintings. Now let's cut so I can wash some of my brushes for the next segment. Now we're going to start with a distant forest in the back. Now to do this, we won't be using your casual green colors, but we're going to take a bit darker than the sky so it looks like mist in the valley, so you can barely see any of the trees. So we'll take this sky color, we're going to put it in with our little blue mix down here, and we'll take a little tiny, just the tiniest bit of blue. That seems about right. What we'll do is we'll take just a little bit of paint thinner, acrylic paint thinner, so it mixes up well, and it makes it so it just flows nicer when you're doing skies and such, but we needed to get more taps out. So what we'll do here is we'll create just a little hill right here. It should give the illusion of mist over the hills. Nice misty open areas. And then we'll add a little bit of a darker version to that. Now we'll go over here and take just a little bit of Prussian blue. This color is excellent, excellent. It is very nice and such, very subtle, but it is very dark. As you can see, the color form it makes down here. Now I'll quickly add this under this misty hill. Just create the illusion of hills going by as you look at this faint mountain. Then we'll do a slightly darker hill here, using some more of this lovely Prussian blue. Now you want it to look roughly like a bluish grayish mix. And what we'll do is we'll come up here, we'll do something like this. There we have it. A nice little background set for when we go into our up-close fine forest scene. Just a little bit of upstrokes to make it look like the tops of little evergreens here and there. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to take a fan brush. Now this is a bristle fan brush, so it is quite thick, so we can help our brush not manipulate too much when making some evergreen trees. Now we're going to make a really dark green. So we're going to take some green, some Prussian blue, and some black. And we'll just mix that together right here. We want it to be incredibly dark, so it looks like black. Go over and take some paint thinner. And just mix it like so. Alright, just tap a little. Then go back into mixing like this. So there's a sharp point on the end of your bristles, so that when you go in here for an up-close forest, you can almost get the illusion of the tops of evergreens. And what we're going to do is we're going to do that all across this area right here. So we'll take a little more black, a little more green. We'll mix that together. Create this nice color. You may not be able to see it on your camera at home, but it is a faint, dark green. So this is going to look as our undercolor, the evergreen trees right here. We want it to look dark and mysterious, because that's what evergreen forests really are. They are kind of dark and mysterious. Every once in a while, you can just put in a real tall one to make some more the illusion of some closer ones. So then we'll do that over here, right there, right here. And what this is doing, this is making the illusion of large hills and valleys in between here and our up-close evergreen forest. Now, we will take bits of color from our palette, and we will create some nice little indications of trees. Evergreens. Lovely little evergreens. Make a tall one. Big, strong guy. Alright. Alright. We will cut so I can wash some of my brushes so we can make the next overlay. Now we're going to highlight these trees in the background right here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little green from the back so we don't get any black on them. Put that right there. Some bright med yellow and some yellow ochre. Now I'm going to take some of this color. I'm going to tap it in. I'm going to go over some of these trees and highlight them just a little bit. I'll go back over again and highlight some areas that could be more in the sunlight. But anyway, we want it to be dark, because evergreens have a nice dark touch to them, and that is why they are my favorite tree. Truly are majestic, how big they can get. I love to think about nature while I paint. It helps. And what you can do is you can mix any of these three colors together to make the trees whatever consistency you want. But whenever I do evergreens, I like them dark. That is the way I have always seen them, and you can always paint them the way you would wish to when you do your painting. So then, I will take a lot more of the bright yellow on the corner over here, and then I will come around to here. I will give small bits of this color to ones more in the sunlight, like these big ones right here. Yeah, look at that little rascal sparkle right there. This one. Oh yeah, I like that. This one. And we'll just keep adding layers if we need them. Now, as we add these layers, it brings in more depth and distance into our paintings, more lighting and agils. We will take some more of this color. Now we want some light to be shining right into this forest, primarily right here. So we'll give this area right here more color. Right up here. Now it's faded out a bit there, so we'll go ahead and grab some more of this yellow. And we're going to put the tiniest hint of white on some of these trees to give the uttermost light. Now just a bit of titanium white. Oh yeah. Get a nice white touch to your green. Tap it out a bit so you don't get too much paint on your tree. Now we'll go right here and just boop. Oh yeah. Boop. Oh yes. And what this will do, this will give the illusion of where the light is coming from, this angle. So we'll give this little guy right down here a boost. Him. And everything up here should have a lot more lighting than down below, because the light will be striking the top. Then we'll come back here and give this guy a lot more light. This guy, and some of them back here. Now you're going to want a stiff brush for this, so that you can give more depth and consistency in your painting. And now that is the back layer of our forest. So I'm going to take big old number 2 brush, and we're going to, let's see here. I'm going to take into a really dark green, some black. We'll make a dark blackish green. What we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to make some lay of the land down here. Some nice land that we can then highlight. And then we'll make the next layer a bit darker. When you're going to want to do a lot of tapping, because that will add the little end on the bristles to have less paint, so it gives the more effect. Like you see down here, the scratchiness. I enjoy the scratchiness in a forest scene, because that gives off a lot of vegetation vibes. We'll just take this area and we're going to dip into this bottom area. Alright, now I believe that is done. So then we're going to take this lovely fan brush right here. This one is thinner than the one we used before, but I think it'll make a nice edge to our bright grassy area down here. So we'll dip into that really light color I was talking about earlier. Yeah. Let's get a little bit of yellow ochre in there. Oh, yellow ochre is a fantastic color. It's a nice color that appears a lot in the fall. Fall is my favorite season. Put down in the comments which season is your favorite, and I might do a video on it. But for now. Alright, so once you have that consistency, grab a little bit of green. We'll take that. Some more yellow ochre, yellow matte, and you just kind of blend it to whatever color you want. Then I'm going to take a lot of white, glob it down right here. I'm going to have a nice bright color down here. Then I'll go back into this color. I'm going to take a bit more green, and then ochre. So I'm just kind of blending it to the consistency that I'd enjoy this color to be. Then I'm going to come down here. Some little grassy things that live down here. Just a little grassy area. Now you can use whatever brush you desire to paint this area, but the fan brush makes it look like little thistles coming out of the ground. I'll just be tapping like so. And it'll get a little darker as we come back here because less paint is coming onto our brush. We'll just keep tapping along right here. And then we will dip into our really light color that I showed you earlier, this one. Then we'll take a lot of green. We want this to be like a lightish greenish color to like kind of put in some little spots. We'll take some yellow ochre because that is a fine color. And then we'll really just brighten this color up. Really get it bright so we can highlight some areas in our little grassy area. I'm going to tap it out so I don't get too much color on the canvas. Just boop. Bright spot. And then back here, there can be a bright spot too. Maybe right here, there can be a bright spot. You know what? I think there needs to be a small color change down here to give the more depth and distance into our painting. So I'll take a tiny bit of alizarin crimson. I'll dip into that. Then I'll take some yellow ochre, dip it into that, and we'll get a nice fallish grass color. And then we'll go down here. Kind of give it a tone. Wow, that painting really is beautiful. Thank you for watching this video. Leave a like and subscribe for more content, and leave a comment on suggestions. Now, thank you, and God bless.